Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR. And so I just wanted to do a follow-up on this chart because it looks like there's some interesting things happening with this gap here to the downside. And so basically, following earnings, which occurred on November 2nd. So between November 1st, we saw a high of 1496 on the day, and then a gap up after earnings with, let's see, a low of $17.21 on November 2nd. So there's this big gap that was formed there, and I actually had made a video prior to earnings. Not really sure whether or not this would go to the upside or the downside. It seemed, like a 50-50 chance, and, it went to the upside. And then following that, it looks like over here, there was some form of head and shoulders pattern that was formed. And this level, $20.24, when we broke below that on November 21st, I think the opportunity to get out of the position came around, December 1st, when the high was $20.29, right around 2024. And if we drag this chart over just a little bit to see where that line originates from, that represents, a high on August 1st. So that's where that line comes from. But anyways, looking at the chart now, this head and shoulders pattern does look like it has broken down and then retested 1830, which was nearly the high on December 11th, the high being $18.20. So with that rejection, it does seem like it will be heading lower. And, I expect that this gap will be filled at some point. I added, let's see, this white line to the chart. Sorry, I'm on vacation, so I'm having to do stuff just with my laptop. So this is a little clunky. I apologize for that. But basically, I connected these 2 points, the low from let's see, that's June 23rd, and the low on November 1st, when that gap was formed. So the low was, let's see, 1448. So that's how I got that white line. There were a couple breaks below it, but generally, I think that line will, potentially serve as support. And that does seem to kind of coincide with a gap fill at the beginning of January, middle of January. So, I do think that it is possible that we will get some sideways consolidation. Effectively, I think that would be like a bear flag, just like how we had this bull flag here, broke to the upside. I do think what we could be seeing now, maybe, another attempt at 1830. And so, I think that would be a bear flag that could break to the downside. It could find support based on this downtrending line, perhaps, let's see, right around 1650. Perhaps 16 at this line here that had served as support over in this area, as well as resistance here, and then support in this area. But I do think we will be seeing a revisit to around $15. Could possibly go lower. I do have some lines down there that I believe I went over in the previous video. And also, I do want to point out the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average. So before all of these big moves to the upside, when price was around $7.28 at the low, just before then we did get this cross of those, which I believe would be a golden cross, and we did see all of this movement to the upside. I do think that, if price does hover around where it's at for a little bit and then drops to fill this gap, I do think we will get a cross of the 200 going above the 50-day moving averages, and that would then result in what is, I believe, referred to as a death cross, and so that would suggest bearish moves. And so if that does happen, I could see drops to, right around $14, $14.10 that I have marked here. Or actually, I guess that's what the 200-day moving average is. and then 1162 and 1030 to the downside. So I do think those are some longer term potential targets for this. But, I do think that, we might get another retest of 1830. I do think there will be a rejection there, as I do feel pretty strongly that this gap will be filled. But, I think there could be a nice exit above $18 before heading down. But, again, these are just my thoughts. And if you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channels for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching.